Every single one of us out there has had one of those late nights up scrolling on Facebook Marketplace looking for something new and fun, particularly rear-wheel drive and powered by a big old V8. And every single one of us has randomly come upon one of these being under $5,000 thinking, wow, that is the greatest recipe I have ever seen. A Ford branded vehicle that's under $5,000, that's rear-wheel drive and a V8. Let's find out if this is the ultimate car that you have been sleeping on.
Hello everyone and welcome to Performance on Wheels. My name is Todd. My son Austin and I, we make all sorts of videos on all sorts of different cars. That includes 25-year-old Lincolns. The fact of the matter is, a lot of you have showed tons of interest in our older car reviews that we've done, but with all those positive comments and all those views, there's still 97% of you that have not hit that subscribe button. So do us a huge favor, support this father-son team and hit that subscribe button.
We are done wasting your time. The Lincoln LS was Lincoln's bold attempt to shake the image of being a brand for retirees. It was built to go head-to-head with the BMW 5 Series, the Lexus GS, and the Mercedes E-Class. Ford wanted to attract younger buyers by offering something that was rear-wheel drive, well-balanced, and fun, so they built it on Ford's DEW 98 platform, which was shared with the Jaguar S-Type and eventually the Ford Thunderbird.
So Ford wanted to build something so unique, they went over to their sister company at the time and essentially stole one of their cars and put a Lincoln badge on it.
So this is the Jaguar S-Type powered Lincoln LS. It is the 3.9 liter AJ V8 that is derived from the Jaguar S-Type. In the year, as this one is shown, it made 280 horsepower paired to Jaguar's 5-speed automatic transmission.
Now the standard transmission was available, meaning a 5-speed manual transmission, as long as you got the V6. That V6 was out of the Ford Taurus and Mercury Sable of the time, but if you wanted the V8, you had to have that automatic transmission. This platform was also shared with that retro designed Ford Thunderbird of the time in the early 2000s there. They look nothing alike on the exterior.
Absolutely not, no.
But if someone were to blindfold you and put you in the driver's seat and all you saw was the instrument cluster and the center console, you'd have the exact same vehicle. I gotta tell you, new cars, I still enjoy them, but there is something so special about these old cars. These old cars of this era, when all those new technologies were just starting to be introduced. For example, in 2003, when the LS was redesigned, that's when we saw cooled and heated perforated leather seats.
And turns out, both of them actually still work.
Now these seats behind the wheel, they're just perfect. There's this perfect blend of luxury with a little bit of bolstering around your side to really throw you into the twisties. This LS Lincoln has an amazing just balance between luxury as well as sport tune. The wood grain, the leather, it's really done quite well.
But for what it was up against with the Lexus GS and the Mercedes E-Class as well as that 5 Series, it most definitely lacked an interior space in the backseat standpoint. It is kind of cramped back here. I do not have a whole lot of legroom by any means. With where my dad is comfortable up front, my knees are shoved into the back of the seat. My headroom is very minimal as my hair at 5'11" is scraping against the top of this headliner. And my goodness, the amount of plastic that was used in here to hold this thing together, well, as you can see on this 117,000 mile example, it's not doing so hot. It is falling apart in quite a few different spots. The seat is starting to give way on the driver's side here. Ultimately, it's pretty well put together. It's got a pretty decent sound system, but man, even though they did a really good job and it's kind of a cool, well-designed interior, I wish they would have used some parts that would have lasted a little bit longer. It's a $5,000 car. The interior is comfortable enough to be a daily driver, and that's what matters. What you guys are really here to see, and what honestly everyone cares about, is what lies under the hood. Let's talk about this AJ V8.
This is towards the beginning of Jag's AJ V8 and V6 era. Very similar designs, essentially just cut off few cylinders. You have a V6 and then you have a V8. Those AJs were used right up until a few years ago, so very common engine, many revisions to get to where they are today. But what is very interesting, even the current day Jags are known for coolant issues.
They are.
In plastic pipes and plastic failures, and that was a big failure point of this 2004 Lincoln LS with that Jag 3.9 in it. The cooling system, plastic cooling pipes breaking, more importantly, and one of the bigger failures that can almost lead to engine failure is the impeller inside of the water pump being plastic. And when that plastic impeller breaks, see you later.
What a brilliant design that was, isn't it?
Yes, a bunch of hot fluid going through plastic. It'll never fail.
What a great idea. Now, what this engine is basically an aluminum dual overhead cam, honestly very powerful engine for its displacement. Only 3.9 liters, about 260 horse between 2000 and 2002. And the second generation came out, which bumped it up to 280, which is what we are looking at here today.
Right, very similar torque numbers. I think it's 286 torque.
And with the right exhaust setup, these 3.9s can actually sound really cool. Take a listen to how this one sounds stock.
And I will say, behind the wheel of it, it feels pretty peppy. Like
it does.
It's good engine response. It feels a little bit quicker than what the numbers throw down.
Like, that thing shifts really quick for a car from 2007 that's an automatic 5-speed. It's really, really fun. I was not expecting this car to be as fun to drive as it is. A lot of transmissions from this generation and this era are super sluggish, they're laggy, they're slow, they're unresponsive, where the 5-speed that's paired to this 3.9 liter V8 is honestly pretty responsive and kind of fun to play around with. It shifts relatively quick.
There's a handful of other issues with the LS, including the brake control module with the ABS system. There's also some issues with ignition coils and spark plug failures. There's a handful of reliability concerns that not only can be nuisances, but can be costly repairs. The transmission being another one of those examples of something that can leave you on the side of the road in the Lincoln LS.
And the thing that really sucks about the Lincoln LS is it's not intuitive to work on. It is really crammed in here. Another thing that's prone to fail on these is the valve covers, and I can assure you that I would not want to do them on this car. They are kind of a pain in the butt to access. It does not look super easy to get to. They're also pretty well known for an issue. That includes the timing chain tensioner. Not super common, but it can cause huge issues in higher mile engines, and it is a big, big job that I would not want to mess with. Now, it isn't as easy as pressing a button to shut off the traction control in the Lincoln LS. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to go under the hood and pull a fuse, but once that fuse is pulled, it is as easy as that to get this thing sliding around either in the snow or the dry, because it has an 8-inch limited slip diff in the rear. On top of that, if you run some hub-centric rings, you can also fit Mustang wheels on top of these, which gives it a huge variety of aftermarket wheel support at a relatively low cost. And even though they're somewhat rare, from H&R and Eibach, they did make lowering springs for these as well. So you can set these up to have a pretty good look and immediately be pretty uncommon out on the road. Feels like it's got a little misfire at idle, but I think it's fine. I was not expecting this car to handle as well as it does. It is so playful. I never would have guessed. One, the steering is very responsive. It's heavy, it's direct, it's immediate. Super impressive for the car that we are in. Was not expecting that. And two, the turn-in is fantastic. I had a 04 CTS V. This car handles better than my CTS-V did. It feels a lot more nimble. It handles like it's a smaller car. It handles like it's a sports sedan or a sporty coupe almost even. It does not handle like a big car. You do not feel the weight at all.
What Lincoln did to bring the weight down on the LS, although they didn't take it all the way like current day JLR products, that's Jaguar Land Rover, is they did aluminum front fenders, aluminum hood, and an aluminum trunk lid. Now look at this 21-year-old Lincoln. You can actually see what 21 years of Minnesota winters that are riddled in salt, riddled in poor roads to drive in. You can see what aluminum does after 21 years on these front fenders. This isn't rust, this is corrosion. But if you go to the back wheel wells, you can see what rust looks like after 21 years on a Lincoln LS.
Now, there isn't selectable drive mode, so the transmission can be finicky if trying to decide if you want to go fast or if you're trying to drive around town. I have noticed that a little bit. Sometimes it thinks you're wanting to be sporty when you're not, and sometimes vice versa. So there is that. However, it can be quite tame driving around town. It's overall pretty comfortable other than some of the broken plastic rattling around. It's a nice, comfortable car to drive. The seats are great. I love how the steering feel is always heavy and direct. It really is good. It rivals some of the best handling cars that I've been in to be completely honest with you. Even some really good handling cars usually don't have steering that's so direct. It just immediately engages, which is really impressive. I've had the opportunity to drive a lot of cars, and this is honestly up there when it comes to driver engagement from a steering standpoint. I know I keep talking about that, but truly, it kind of impresses me. You can absolutely have fun in this car. I can only imagine how much more fun it would be with a nice rowdy exhaust tone to it. I do enjoy it. I do really enjoy it, and I think you guys would enjoy it too from a fun enthusiast standpoint. It's a great first car. It's a great winter beater. It's a great car to get from point A to point B, or if you just have a low budget and are looking for something fun, this is fantastic. There is not any vehicle that's this quick, that can sound this good, that has, I shouldn't say it's reliable, but there isn't anything that's under $5,000 that competes with this car, in my opinion.
I heard recently that the average car payment in America jumped up dramatically from somewhere in the $600 range all the way up to somewhere in the $800 range.
Now, we just finished out Q2, moving into Q3, and Q2 numbers are back from the majority of car manufacturers. The average car payment was over $1,000, 20%. Wow, 20% of all of the payments from Q2 were over $1,000.
That is absolutely insane. So you're taking your hard-earned money every single month, putting it towards a depreciating asset only so you can look cool and have new tech. Like, that is what is making these cars so darn appealing to me. 5,000 bucks a pop, 4,000 bucks a pop. You could own this car for a year, hopefully have a trouble-free year. You could do that with all these old legends of the past for 7 or 8 years in a row and still save yourself money over the cost of a new car.
That's because it's hard to find one of these that's priced over $5,000 across the entire car market. Now, I know every one of us, just like I said at the start of this video, has spent time searching for a V8 rear-wheel drive vehicle filter on Craigslist, on Auto Trader, on Facebook Marketplace, and at some point you guys have come across one of these. And I just think it was so cool that we had the opportunity to finally check one out, because I've seen it pop up so many times and it really surprised me. I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting this car to handle as well as it did.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good handling car. I thoroughly enjoyed putting it into the corners. That really surprised me. Also, the transmission really surprised me. It's a quick shifting car. It's relatively fun to drive for that reason. But it still kind of scares me a little bit, the reliability aspect of things. The fact that not only is it pretty unreliable, but it's challenging to work on as well. And not only that, but parts are also hard to find for it as well. It's just kind of a recipe of a few things that make it unappealing. But if you're willing to take on some of those items, I think these are great looking cars.
They still, 21 years later, this is an amazing looking car.
Yeah.
The Lincoln LS was produced for 7 years, under 300,000 total units in those 7-year periods. So they are kind of hard to come across. With that being said, over 20 years old, under 300,000 produced. Fact of the matter is, a lot of these things are crushed already.
Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below of our retro car review series. I'm really enjoying it so far, and I really do think that this is a great vehicle. Let us know your thoughts on the Lincoln LS down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to press subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.